Mm-hmm. Now Jamaica. Granville has returned because he's saying, I wonder who Andre has in the opposition spokespersons. Jamaica, these are my recommendations. Who's ready for my recommendations? Opposition spokesperson for Transport and Works, Richard Azan. You heard my comment? You heard that? Opposition spokesperson for Transport and Works, Richard Azan. Opposition spokesperson on Water and Environmental Protection, Mr. Ian Hales. If you disagree with me, Granville, you can tell me. The spokesperson for the Finance and the Public Service, Mr. Julian Robinson. Spokespersons for Foreign Affairs and Trade, a very new member of Parliament. A young lady. You say you wanted to see youth, right?
Yes, yes.
I am endorsing Zuleika Jess to become the spokesperson for Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade. Community Development and Sports, Wavell Hines. Information and the Creative Industries, Nikisha Burchell. Here's another surprising and alarming one. Labor and Social Security, Dr. Angela Brown-Burke. Logistics and the Digital Economy, Omar Newell. National Security and Citizenship Justice, Peter Bunting. Housing, Floyd Morris. Local Government and Reform, Natalie Nita Garvey and her deputy spokesperson, Rosemary Shaw. Science, Energy and Technology, Philip Paulwell. Justice, Donna Scott Motley. Electoral Matters and Matters Concerning Portmore, Fix Jackson. Constitutional and Legal Affairs, Isaac Buchanan. Agriculture, Fisheries, Dr. Dayton Campbell. Industry and Commerce, Anthony Hilton. Listen to a surprising one. Who wants to hear the surprising one? Education and Training, Dr. Kenneth Russell.
Why not Damian Crawford?
I'm going to put Damian Crawford somewhere that is going to make him a star. Tourism, Entertainment Linkages, Damian Crawford. Backed as his deputy, Andrea Perkis. Social... I soon get to that. Social Transformation with Persons with Disabilities, Denise Daly. Health and Wellness, Dr. Alfred Dawes. Land and Sustainable Development, Lowton Cousins. For Youth Development, I'm endorsing somebody from the Senate. If they're picked, I believe Cleveland Tomlinson should be the spokesperson on youth development. And equally, I have another pick for gender, but I have to wait until the senators are named, and I will endorse that person for gender and women affairs, gender and culture. But you're saying Damian Crawford doesn't know much about tourism? You don't know what Damian Crawford lectures at the University of the West Indies. You never know, Courtney, that his substantive lecturing is in tourism. No. Many of you don't know his substantive lecturing is in tourism. And Damian Crawford does well in tourism. And Dr. Kenneth Russell is an education administrator. You need somebody who is an education administrator to lead and counter what is happening with the crisis in education. So I am saying Jamaica. Michael Phillips will go to mining. Remember that Damian Crawford's strength is marketing. Jamaica, what is your take on my proposal tonight?
There are some new changes that I can appreciate. For example, based upon the work that Isaac has done regarding the constitution and affairs and such, I think he may be a good fit as relates to that. And you know, controversy is a good thing in politics. And since they have put him in the hot seat, it will be good to have him in Parliament to further irate the government and those would have seen him. And I think he has a certain level of popularity that may transcend into good public opinion. So I think that would be a worthwhile initiative. But I'm interested though, why would you change the Minister of Foreign Affairs? So Rice did that.
You need somebody who understand the dynamics of foreign policy. Well, Angela Brownberg did her fair job, but I believe Angela Brownberg's strength is in negotiations, and she knows well about the labor and social security portfolio a little better. Zuleika Jess, she's dynamic enough because she's not just youthful. She offers a kind of representation that looks ambassadorial. She has the image to be the first ambassador for the country.
Yes, yeah. And I remember watching her and Isaac interview. I think it was on CVM or one of those other stations, and she did represent herself well. When it comes down to certain portfolios, certain image and how people carry themselves is a matter of importance. For example, when we compared, especially in the debates, before the debates, when we compared, like for example, a Favor versus a Julian, just overall in terms of how they presented themselves as members interested in finance or on the debate itself, one would say, Julian had a more ministerial look. And so you kind of want that, especially in opposition. One of the key things.
And she's an attorney at law. She's an attorney at law. I believe she's a bilingualist as well.
Yeah.
She speaks many languages, if I'm correct. And she is a scholar. She's a scholar. So
she represents well. Not to take away from our lady Angela Brown-Burke, but of course, we're trying to present the strongest front and to ensure that we do whatever. So it's just a matter of reallocation. We have more MPs now in the House.
Stand up and counter a Kamina Johnson Smith in the House on foreign policy that you have never seen before. There's a lot of foreign policy issues that is going to take precedence in the House. With what is happening in Hamas, what is happening in Kuwait, you need somebody who can stand on their feet and question the government.
And that with all that is happening locally, well, all that is happening regionally, especially back with this, people may say, what does Jamaica drug position in the US has to do with foreign policy? But that's going to lead to that's going to intertwine between the Ministry of course, Crime and Ministry of Security and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, because now we're dealing with our international partners. And so, if the government is silent on this matter, for example, the opposition ought to speak on it and to incite them to action. So it's going to be a very interesting day.
Let me explain some more why I put Damian Crawford. Anywhere you put Damian Crawford, he's going to shine. Would you agree with that, Courtney? Definitely. Would you agree with that, Granville?
Yes.
What is happening right now in tourism is that tourism is in a crisis. The Airbnb structure is in a crisis. The tourism workers are in a crisis. The hotels are in a crisis. That needs beach access is also an important issue that is in a crisis. And you need Jamaica to be marketed by a good marketer. Nothing beats a Rasta man as the face of tourism.
That makes sense.
Nothing beats a Rasta man as the space of tourism because it's one of the main economic earners for the country.
Yes.
And if you recall, Portia never put Damian in education. When Damian came in parliament, his first area of focus was the tourism under the auspices of Wickham McNeil. You have an educator who has never been, Courtney, exposed. You don't know the strengths of Dr. Kenneth Russell. I can tell you the strengths of Dr. Kenneth Russell. He's a stepping razor. He's an educator. Just as how Damian is an educator. So if there is a shortfall, Damian is in the house also to pick up Dr. Kenneth Russell and carry him along. But tourism is an eggshell in the country right now. Not Nagwan feet.
I don't. To be honest, I think that's one of those portfolios that I wasn't looking at in terms of, to have Damian there would be a real game changer. In terms of just, I think that would be a big surprise. Well, let us see how correct you are.
Saying to you, Jamaica, Kenneth Russell might look soft. Or everybody depend Kenneth Russell soft. You don't need a hard on every part in the government, in the opposition. You have enough bulldogs, Courtney. You have enough bulldogs. You have enough Rottweilers. You have enough pit bulls to bark. Sometimes you need a little shih tzu to create that little balance.
I get you.
So, Jamaica, education is a must. And you might not know Dr. Kenneth Russell. But I am telling you tonight, Jamaica, where I sit and where I stand. Teachers would appreciate more of a Dr. Kenneth Russell than a Damian Crawford. Listen to me and listen to me well. Educators love educators. And Russell has been an educator that has come up. Damian say Damian a lecturer. Me just tell you what them say. And I am telling you, Jamaica, if Dr. Russell is granted a chance, you'll be surprised. You would be surprised. Yeah. But I believe Jamaica. And I want to ask you one question. I want to ask them a question. Have I ever made a recommendation on this platform that doesn't make sense? Have I ever stirred you or steered you in a direction that is nonsensical and foolish? Have I ever, Jamaica, look at you and say to you something and it makes no sense? I am asking you, Jamaica, to support my position as who should be the cabinet opposition spokespersons. I'm a strategist, Jamaica. That is what I am built to do. Write political strategies and align them for victory. You need an opposition that looks like a government in waiting. And right now, Mark Golding has earned himself competent spokespersons. And not 14 anymore. 28 of them. And 8 senators. He has earned himself, Jamaica, the right to turn him back, left, right, and look and said, Gaz, take on that one. Damian, take on that one. Dayton, run out on that one. Him can sit down like a stepping razor right now, Jamaica. Russell, run out on that one. And now is the time that Mark Golding must equally, Jamaica, put in performance evaluation exercise because we don't want no lazy spokesperson over here. None. No lazy spokesperson over here. Performance evaluation must be done. We now look for the government, because the opposition stronger than the government. Right, no. The opposition stronger than the government. It is so hard to find government ministers. It's Pierre Frefre over there. Pierre Baga over there. Nothing that makes much sense. Can you imagine Christopherson is still going to be health minister? Can
And
you
those are
imagine?
some. Those are some.
Finance minister.
I think.
Can you where the Granville? Can you imagine Colonel Charles being a minister again? Can you imagine Malahu overseeing the constitutional affairs of this country and don't know bullfoot going to tell about executive president? Can you imagine Jamaica? Chang continuing. Can you imagine a Wheatley coming back into government as a member of as a minister of government? Can you imagine Bobby Montague sitting in the government as a minister? Can you imagine Floyd Green with the whole heap of missing fertilizers? Can you imagine Warmington potentially as speaker? No, but them going to put Delroy Chuck as speaker. Can you imagine the amount of bad word coming from Juliet Cuthbert Flynn mouth? You cannot imagine Granville night.
I would like to as you say that I think there are going to be some changes on the side of the government that will likely surprise us. But there from what I've seen, there ought to be some changes. I know that they are definitely going to allow Minister Williams to retain finance. And sadly, the question is if we remove what's his name, Tufton from health, where would we put him? That's the question.
He can't go information because he does well at marketing.
Yes. But of course, there are other political things at play. But we discuss. What I'd like to do is to discuss once the ministers and the senators are being confirmed.
You want to come back and
we will talk and we assess and we analyze and know.
Remember, you're now my resident political and social community.
Yes.
So get used to the platform, my friend.
Yes.
All right.
Partners and the rest of Jamaica, I just want to say good night. We see you at the next episode.
And remember, Jamaica, he's an insurance agent. So one of these days, we're going to let him come on a Saturday night to talk all about insurance. And we take it from there. You're just be a political commentator. You have to still get bread and butter in your pocket. Yes. All right, my brother.
Most definitely.
Walk good and stay blessed now. Be positive.
Thank you, Andre.
Mm-hmm. I hope you all enjoying the conversation tonight. The conversation tonight is a steamy one. But can you imagine? Can you imagine? So I've given you my submissions. For the cabinet, the opposition cabinet. Me now go give nobody the opportunity to call in and disagree and agree and just change this. I want you to sleep on it tonight. I want you to sleep on it tonight, Jamaica. You remember my submissions? You all have them written down. Today I went through it and I called a friend of mine and I said to her, listen to this. And she said, no, Andre, change this, put this together. I hope you all get this to Mark Jefferson Golding. And some of you will remain that Damian Crawford must be education spokesperson. But I am saying tonight, Jamaica, put Crawford at tourism and look at what he will do.
Rasta.
Only Rasta shall liberate the people over hills and valleys too. Yes, Jamaica. Bob Marley,
of course,
helped tourism in this country. Can you imagine what a Damian Crawford would do with tourism? Just think about that tonight. Just sit down and think about that. Paula Llewellyn going home this Friday. Paula Llewellyn going home this Friday, Jamaica. The cabinet, what I gave is not predictable. The cabinet, what I gave is not predictable. It was well thought. It was well sorted. And was well recommended. Those are my cabinet submissions. I'm going to be putting them in the WhatsApp group and in the WhatsApp channel, and you must all share them as the submissions from Andre Stevens for cabinet.